Ooh, that wobbled a lot when I just moved my arm. Gotta be careful with that. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Morning Bible. It's wonderful to have you here. We are in Luke once again. Today's reading, we got three little stories that we're just gonna bam, bam, bam. So it might be a longer video, it might not be, who knows. It's only half a page of writing, but there's a lot of information, a lot of knowledge packed into this, and so usually half a page of writing can translate into a lot of pages of talking about it, which is why I let the Bible speak for itself. And we begin. From verse 16 in Luke chapter 8. No one, after lighting a lamp, covers it with a jar or puts it under a bed, but puts it on a stand, so that those who enter the house may see the light. So Jesus is coming with a new bit of teaching. He's telling people, look, this follows on directly from the parable of the sower that we were talking about yesterday, where Jesus was talking about all the different seeds that fall in different lands. Jesus then says, okay, there's this other way of looking at it. No one, after lighting a lamp, covers it with a jar or puts it in the bed, or puts it under the bed, but they put it on a stand so everyone in the house may see. So Jesus says, nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest. So nothing is hidden that won't be made clear. Nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. So everything that's sort of is secret, is hidden away, that we don't know about, will come to the surface, will come to light. Take care then how you hear. For to one who has, more will be given, and from one who has not, even what he thinks he has will be taken away. So it seems like a fairly clear enough analogy until that last bit. And so, yeah, let's break it down a bit. So the lamp, what is the actual lamp itself? So it gives off light, obviously, to the whole house. And so Jesus is saying that the light is the message. It's sort of the word of God that we were talking about yesterday. It's like the seed that's being sowed. That's the light that Jesus is referring to. So you don't light a lamp and just hide it away and put it under things. You light a lamp so that it can light up the whole house. So Jesus is saying that has to be your attitude with how you treat your faith, how you treat following God, how you treat God's message and God's instructions. You need to have it on a stand in the middle of your house so that everyone who comes in both will see the light itself, but will also see everything else by the light, if that makes sense. Like the light sort of casts wisdom onto other things. The word of God makes other things clear, makes other things make sense. It isn't just a light in and of itself, it's a light with a purpose to reveal things around us. And so when he says all the things that are made secret will become known, that's sort of what he's referring to, is all the things that were in the darkness, all the things that were hidden away, now because this light is in the middle of your house, those things will be revealed. And those things will be good things a lot of the time. Like the majority of the time it will be, it's casting light onto something incredible that you didn't realise, something good, something encouraging. It can also reveal some bad things, but that's another analogy that Jesus talks about another time, so we'll go into that when it comes up. And so he says, take care how you hear. So this is how he's talking about, this is the word of God, this is the message of God. So take care how you listen to it, take care how you hear it. For to the one who has, more will be given. So someone who already has that belief, has that knowledge, has that sort of connection with God, has that faith, more will be given. They'll get an increase in what they know. And from one who has not, from the one who has not, even what he thinks he has will be taken away. So someone who hears this message, but thinks they have it all sorted, thinks they don't need it, thinks they have something better, this may be a lamp and they may have a torch or something that they use instead. Even the things they know will be taken away. So that torch is going to run out of battery. That torch is going to be useless. That torch isn't going to mean anything after you've experienced the light from this lamp. So that's a really nice little parable. It's only 3 verses long, but it just beautifully condenses an idea down. And so let's keep reading. Onto part 2, not of this parable, it's a different little thing now. From verse 19. Then his mother and his brothers came to him. So Jesus' family, his blood family, came to see him, but they could not reach him because of the crowd. And Jesus told them, no, and the crowd told him, "Your mother and your brothers are standing outside desiring to see you." But Jesus answered them, "My mother and my brothers are those who hear the word of God and do it." And so this is a really interesting passage, because obviously family does matter. The Bible tells us that blood relation, blood family do matter. It tells us to honour your mother and father, you know, and a million other things related to family. Like, family is really important in the Bible. There's a reason why the Jewish people were all one big family unit, one large family group, because family is important in the Bible. But when Jesus comes down, he says, look, blood family doesn't mean anything compared to the family that you have in God. My mother and my brothers are those who hear the word of God and do it. So Jesus puts his real family, you know, his real proper close community, his real proper close connections, those are the people who hear the word of God and do it. And so that's a big comfort, I feel, for a lot of people who maybe don't have a very healthy sort of family, people who struggle with their family, people who have difficulties. You just know that God doesn't, that isn't the only family you have access to. God's inviting you into his family, into the family of his kingdom, where it's anyone who hears and believes. They're the people who are welcomed into that new family unit that he's building. Yeah, so that's really encouraging. That's really sweet. And yeah, so we'll do one last bit. Sorry, these feel quite disconnected, but at the end we'll go over each of them. So this last one isn't a bit of teaching, actually. This is another miracle. It's quite a famous one. So let's read from verse 22. Jesus calms the storm. One day he got into a boat with his disciples, and he said to them, "Let us go across to the other side of the lake." And so they set out, and as they sailed he fell asleep, and a windstorm came down on the lake, and they were filling with water and were in danger. So they want to go across the lake, go across to the other side. It's not like just a small little lake. This is a very, very big lake they're travelling across, where a storm is actually an issue. And so they all get on the boat, they're going across, Jesus falls asleep, storm happens. And they went and woke him. So the disciples run to Jesus saying, "Master, Master, we are perishing, we're dying." And Jesus awoke and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and they ceased, and there was calm. And so you remember when we talked about the demons, Jesus rebuked those demons, and there was one instance where Jesus rebukes an illness as well, that's in Luke. And now we see Jesus rebuking the wind and the waves and the storm. He said, and he turns and says to his disciples, "Where is your faith?" And they were afraid, and they marvelled, saying to one another, "Who is this that he commands even winds and waters, and they obey him?" And so Jesus wakes up and he's like, why were you worried? Why were you scared, essentially? Where is your faith? Like, don't you trust me? I know I was asleep in the boat. I know that, and there was a storm around and I was asleep, but where's your faith? Don't you trust me that I would keep you safe even through that? Because they didn't wake him. You know, the way they woke him, they said, "Master, we're perishing. We're dying. We're going to die out here." You know, they didn't come to him calmly. They didn't come to him, you know, asking him for some help with like the sails or whatever. They came to him and said, "Master, we're dying." Jesus is like, "No, you're not. Trust me. You know, don't you trust me? Where's your faith in me? Where's your belief in me? I'm in your boat. You know, your boat isn't going to go under with me in it." And so that's a really sort of encouraging thing for, I guess, times like this, where it very much feels like we're in a small boat in a very big lake in a storm sometimes. Jesus just says to us, you know, where's your faith? Where is your faith? It's a challenge to us as much as anything else. Where are you putting your faith? Are you putting your faith in your ability to sail? Are you putting your faith in the weather sorting itself out? Are you putting your faith in the boat holding together and the strength of the guys around you to be able to, you know, fight against the storm? Or do you put your faith in me? That's what Jesus is asking. Where is your faith? Where are you putting it right now? And so I guess that's the challenge to us, is where are we putting our faith? Are we putting our faith in, you know, things like the vaccine trial, which, don't get me wrong, is an incredible thing? Are we putting our faith in, you know, the economy bouncing back? Are we putting our faith in this? Are we putting our faith in that? Are we putting our faith in lockdown ending, whatever? Or are we putting our faith in Jesus? That's the real challenge. Where is it? In a time of difficulty, where are you putting your faith? Because Jesus, you know, he isn't saying like, don't trust these things, don't believe in these things, don't support these things. He's saying your faith should be in me at all times. Even in the storm, even when it seems like Jesus is asleep and, you know, we're in a storm and he's left us, Jesus is still there. Jesus is still in the boat, and all you have to do is go to him. All you have to do is wake him up. All you have to do is talk to him. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And that's not me saying that God just falls asleep and ignores big chunks of time. That's not what I'm saying. Jesus was a man, and so Jesus had human needs when he came down. So yeah, let's just do a quick recap of the stories we've had in this little chunk, and then I think we'll leave it there. So the first one we had was the lamp under the jar. You have the message, you have the word of God, you have the light of God. You need to put that in the centre of your house, and that will light up all the things around you. We have Jesus' mother and brothers. Jesus' blood family comes to see him, and Jesus says, my real family are the ones who follow me. And that isn't him rejecting his blood family, that isn't him telling them to leave or to go away, although he doesn't want to see them, but he's saying that, you know, I have a family here, I have a family of people who believe in me. And so that's awesome. And then we've got Jesus calming the storm, where he wakes up. The disciples go to him saying, Jesus, we need you, we're all going to die. Jesus wakes up, calms the storm, and says to him, where's your faith? Where have you put your faith? Yeah, it's just really cool. It's 3 good little challenges of where's your lamp, first and foremost, where's your family, and where's your faith? Yeah. So I guess we'll leave it there for today. Yeah, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Stay safe. Much love.